Fourth oral question, Lord Berkeley.
My Lords, I asked a question on Noble Lord of the fourth question.
The Government has engaged with Peel Ports, which owns the Port of Great Yarmouth, and the Ships Management Company. It's provided guidance and advice to ensure the safe transfer of this cargo from the motor vessel Ruby onto another vessel for onward travel. Ammonium nitrate is regularly handled at UK ports, and standard health and safety procedures have been and are being followed.
I'm grateful to my noble friend for that answer and declare an interest as Honorary President of the UK Maritime Pilots Association. This cargo of 20,000 tonnes of ammonium nitrate is benign on its own, but I know from construction experience that when you mix it with a little bit of diesel and an explosive, that's what happened in Beirut about 2 years ago, and it demolished most of the city, as I understand it. Is Yarmouth a great place to have a transfer like this? And when this ship has been sitting in the North Sea for probably weeks, if not months, trying to get somebody, some port somewhere, to accept it and unload the cargo. That'd be interesting in my noble friend's response.
My Lords, the explosion in Beirut occurred because of the incorrect storage of a large amount of ammonium nitrate over a prolonged period. It was being stored in a shed alongside fireworks that caught fire and caused the explosion. The ammonium nitrate on the motor vessel Ruby has been stored correctly and is not believed to be compromised in any way, and the Port of Great Yarmouth has experience of handling agricultural dry bulk cargoes, including ammonium nitrate, over 200,000 tonnes of which are imported into the United Kingdom through various ports.
Lords, can I declare an interest as a former MP for a constituency very near Yarmouth? And I can endorse what the Minister has just said. He is aware, obviously, that this port, owned by Peel Ports, does have state-of-the-art handling facilities for hazardous goods, including ammonium nitrate. And I have every confidence in Peel Ports' ability to carry out this transshipment contract. And is he aware it's going to be very important for the local economy? It's a port that is doing well, but this is a big contract. But can you just comment on one particular point? That the vessel was originally en route from the northern Russian port of Kandlalashka, en route, I think, to Lagos, via the Canary Islands. Is there an issue regarding sanctions here?
Yes. I echo what the Noble Lord says about the Port of Great Yarmouth. The Department has engaged with HMRC and the Department of Business and Trade, who has separately considered whether the goods on board the Ruby are subject to import sanctions. They have confirmed that ammonium nitrate, the substance on board the motor vessel Ruby, is not subject to import sanctions under the Russia Sanctions EU Exit Regulations 2019.
The previous question has illustrated there is a complex background to this situation. Now, a couple of years ago, it was discovered by the Secondary Legislation Scrutiny Committee that the Department for Transport had fallen badly behind in transposing international maritime law into British legislation, a situation that was exacerbated by Brexit, as we no longer had to follow EU law. Can the Noble Lord the Minister assure us that the UK is now fully signed up to our international maritime obligations and therefore fully protected in a sensitive and complex situation?
The Noble Baroness is obviously right that this is an important issue. I will write to her about the current position in this respect, but I have to say that I think that the position of the motor vessel Ruby is not affected by the situation that she talked about in the past.
My Lords, I agree with the tone of what the Noble Lord the Minister has said about not spreading alarm unnecessarily, but can he say what actions the Port Authority has taken to engage with communities in Great Yarmouth to address their understandable concerns?
I'm told that handling ammonium nitrate is a normal operational activity at Great Yarmouth, indeed as we've heard. So my understanding is that there has been no special public consultation, and in fact the transfer of cargo has begun, and it's regarded by the port as not an exceptional activity.
My Lords, I welcome the Noble Lord the Minister to what I think is his first maritime question. I agree with him entirely about the transportation of this particular fertiliser, many hundreds of thousands of tonnes of which are transported safely around the world every year. Turning to the Beirut explosion, which he mentioned, this particular commodity can only be set off through either shock or heat in a confined space. In that occasion, having been poorly stored for several years, as the Minister said, the fireworks caught fire and exploded, providing the perfect whammy for the major explosion which followed.
Thank you for that information.
The Noble Lord is right, it is my first maritime question. I wasn't expecting to be so knowledgeable about ammonium nitrate 48 hours ago, but I am now, and I welcome his information about the explosion in Beirut.
Lords, I wonder whether I could just follow up my noble friend Lord Moynihan's question on the information to local residents. Of course, it is a routine operation, as Noble Lord Minister rightly says. But the problem is, given the extended publicity around this particular transfer and this particular docking, it may well be that some local people who were not aware that this was routine are now alarmed locally. So could a Noble Lord Minister have another go at answering the question, are there any concerns given the media coverage of this ship docking there?
Given what the Noble Lord has said, I will ask again. But I would emphasise that as far as the port is concerned, this is a routine activity, and in fact it accounts to no more than removal of the cargo from one ship by means of lorries on the quayside and putting the cargo in a second one.
I'm delighted to be able to come to the assistance of the Noble Lord the Minister and assure him that very responsible coverage has been made of this incident in Great Yarmouth, and I live not terribly far away. The Eastern Daily Press yesterday and this morning showed the ship very safely in the outer harbour, handling the ammonium nitrate in a way that's been handled in many occasions in the past. So I'd like to congratulate Fuel Ports and Great Yarmouth and the Town Council or the Borough Council for the way in which they have carried out this operation, despite the scare stories that have appeared in the media, which by and large have been boundless.
I thank the Noble Lord for that information.
On those odd occasions where you do realise you have some slightly strange expertise, I declare my interest as a firework maker and also as a bomb disposal officer. And I think the tone of this debate is exactly right. Prilled ammonium nitrate is perfectly safe in its own condition, but there is, when it is mixed 16-1 with diesel, it does become a high explosive. So can I simply suggest that the best approach the Minister could take to reassure local residents is to reassure them that there is no diesel seepage and therefore no threat?
I thank the Noble Lord for that. I hope he goes nowhere near Great Yarmouth for the foreseeable future. But it is a serious point, and the Health and Safety Executive have been fully engaged. They've been helpful and supportive in providing advice and guidance to both the ship's management company and Peel Ports to ensure that the handling of this cargo is in line with UK regulations and, of course, safe.
Given the intervention of the Noble Lord opposite, can we have a reassurance that he'll be checked very carefully next Tuesday?
But not by me.
My Lords, may I also wish everyone celebrating a happy Diwali? Yeah. And also, could I ask what the rush was to get the ship docked when it was, having already been in the North Sea for quite some weeks and been turned away by Norway and Lithuania? Might it not have been more reassuring for the public had it waited until after November the 5th?
Indeed, happy Diwali. The ship was on its way to its home base of Malta, and given the likely conditions in the Bay of Biscay and the weather at the time of year, the ship's management company took the commercial decision to make repairs to the ship instead of risking the safety of the 19 crew members on board. The government therefore supported them in convening conversations with UK ports and authorities to identify an appropriate port for the offloading of this cargo type. And I think that's a very responsible thing to do for mariners who were otherwise at sea for a prolonged period of time in a vessel that was clearly not fit to finish its journey.